something I've seen in the past.
It's honestly not that bad of a starter. It has 90 HP as a basic. It is resistant to fighting, so Buzzwole will need a lot of those buffs like Strong Energy and Regirock to do any sort of meaningful damage to it. And for just one single energy card, it can deal 120 damage to Buzzwole GX. So that is something I think that is going to be an option Alex wants to go for. It looks like he will just Sycamore to get this turn started after finding a Remoraid with that Sycamore. Does find a Max Elixir as well, can potentially get some extra energies in play.
Yeah, the big thing I think he would be looking for there is the Brooklet Hill. Not only is the Brooklet Hill going to be able to get him another basic down, something like a Buzzwole he could Max Elixir to, but then it would help out the Oricorio with its attack. It needs that to be able to do the damage.
Yeah, no Buzzwole over on Alex Schemanski's side, unfortunately. We're going to just see him pass over to Ryan. Ryan kind of analyzing his hand. What does he want to do? He has that Brooklet Hill in his hand. And sure, he wants to play it to put a Pokemon on his bench, but if he plays it, he gives Alex the stadium he needs in order to use that Revelation Dance attack to do that damage to Buzzwole. So he's very hesitant about putting it in play, and I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, he's got the Ultra Ball. He's going to discard one the end, so probably another draw supporter in the hand there. He is holding on to the Brooklet Hill, so he does want it. I think it depends basically how far he can get without Brooklet Hill. You know, both players have a decently thick count of it. Usually, you know, 3. That probably come in about there, maybe even 4 in some lists.
Usually 3, yes. I think they both are playing 3.
I think with some of the additions, the Mews, the Super Rods, you just can't afford the 4. Interesting to see Ryan grabbing the Regirock off that Ultra Ball search. Basically, as you were saying, he's going to need a lot of those damage buffs to get the big damage down on this Oricorio, and Regirock is definitely going to help him get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually going for a Guzma, if he has a Strong Energy, he will actually be able to take a knockout turn 1 on Rockruff and still put 30 damage on one of these benched Pokemon because resistance doesn't apply to the bench, but still going to actually target down the Remoraid.
That's a really nice start for Ryan, taking that prize on the first turn, being able to get rid of the potential Lycanroc plays. But Ryan, again, you know, didn't really go through his deck that far, but he got what he needed to get the ball rolling in this game. I think he is a little scared of the Oricorio, the Brooklet Hill still remaining in his hand, and he's just hoping that Alex isn't able to find it.
Alex Schemanske does play Max Elixir, but choosing not to attach, even though he saw the energy, just wants to thin a card out because he has to draw cards with Octillery, because he has no draw supporter in his hand.
Yeah, you've got an Abyssal hand, and you want to maximize that, so yeah, he decides not to.
Only one card.
One. Oh.
It is a Buzzwole GX. That is a pretty good card to get. Looks like it's actually going to be a Guzma here. Going to bring up that Regirock, maybe force Ryan to find a way to retreat and still spread some damage. Makes it easier to knock out that Buzzwole maybe with one of his other attackers like Mew or Oricorio.
Yeah, it's going to make those numbers a whole lot nicer. If you can get another one down, you know, you're getting closer. You're still short of the 120 being enough. Not a problem. Looks like the Buzzwole's going to get back in the active after the Floatstone attaches to the Regirock. And a big Sycamore here for Ryan. Both players playing at a pretty prompt pace, I'd like to say.
Absolutely. We've got a very good pace of play from both of these players. Brooklet Hill does hit the discard pile for Ryan. Does not want to give Alex that option to get the Oricorio. Revelation Dance, 120 free damage for just one energy. Well, not totally free, one energy, but is still extremely efficient against this Buzzwole deck because of that Psychic weakness on Buzzwole GX.
Yeah, the big thing here is he's just got to hope Alex can't find the Brooklet Hill of his own. Because as soon as he does that, all this time holding on to that Brooklet, essentially, you know, not wasted, but then all of the other Brooklets become not available for him. It looks like Ryan's putting all his eggs in the Buzzwole basket, getting another Strong Energy and a Choice Band down.
Letting us know where his energy attachment has been for the turn, making sure there's no accidental second energies coming into play.
I was joking around with Ryan before the tournament started today about what's going on with his energy attachments. And I know a number of people, you know, raise issues, but you can't fault him for bringing out the marker there.
Making sure no foul play in this game. Gonna go ahead and hit 110 on the active after all those damage boosts, and gonna keep targeting down that Octillery. Ryan knows Alex has no playable cards in his hand because he only Abyssal handed for 1, and he benched the Buzzwole last turn. Looks like he does find another Buzzwole and a Max Elixir and
Sudowoodo.
And a Sudowoodo.
It looked like a Sudowoodo. I could have been wrong.
Looks like it is the Sudowoodo, actually.
Yep. The Ultra Ball remaining in his hand. The interesting thing, I think, for Alex here is, you know, just how limited his kind of players now. Being able to Ultra Ball, though, having enough cards warrant some to throw away and get the Tapu Lele. Sycamore's going to help him get the ball rolling again. I do really like, actually, how Ryan's been spreading the damage so far. Obviously, the Octillery is about to go down if it gets caught by another Jet Punch. And this Buzzwell's racking up the damage. The Watch and Learn Sudowoodo will hit the bench to finally bring that up. And the Max Elixir will get an energy on it immediately for Alex. So off that Sycamore, Alex, or the potential Sycamore that's coming, Alex has been able to play down this hand and really tear through his deck nice and quickly.
Absolutely. I think Sycamore is the last card in his hand, so he will get the full effect of Professor Sycamore, no discarding of cards, and getting a fresh hand of 7. Does have that energy spread around, as you mentioned, but for Alex Schemanske, something to be wary of is the damage on Octillery. Ryan was actually able to win Charlotte Regionals because of how much damage he was able to place on Alex's Octillery and able to manage keeping those out of play. So that is going to be big. It looks like we do see the double colorless energy. We may see Sudowoodo watch and learn a Jet Punch here, but no, actually just going to be Buzzwole GX. 40 to the active because of Regirock's Regipower, and will do 30 damage to one of his benched Pokemon.
Yeah, and the numbers adding up for Alex quite nicely as well. Both players desperate to get rid of those Octillery engines. It'll be a little bit easier for Alex unless Ryan evolves into the Octillery this turn, but he is going to prep another Remoraid.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a huge turn for Ryan. Sabelhaus can get energies on benched Pokemon that are not in danger of getting knocked out immediately, and will also get to take a 3-prize turn by knocking out the Buzzwole GX in the active and the Octillery with that Jet Punch. An incredibly strong start for Ryan Sabelhaus here in round number 12.
You see the power of the strong energy, really changing those numbers while Jet Punch comes in at a meager 30. Soon one energy up to 50 already. Get that Regirock in 60. Now he's just swinging for a solid 80.
120, actually 110 damage because that strong energy effect does stack.
Yep.
The 2 strong energies plus 20 damage
and
each
the choice
time,
band.
and the choice band. So many damage modifiers in these fighting type decks.
Yeah,
it only gets better with this next set too.
Oh, we can talk for a while about Beast Ring. I think is the card a lot of people are talking about. I know that pulling it at the pre-release was definitely what you wanted there. Interesting play from Ryan. It's actually going to Guzma up the Regirock. And take the knockout on the Octillery as well. So 2 Pokemon now on Alex's side of the field, looking ripe for the picking.
And I think this is smart from Ryan. He could have taken that 3-prize turn, but by bringing up this Regirock, if he had taken that 3-prize turn, he would have played directly into Alex's ability to Revelation Dance and knock out this Buzzwole in the active spot, since there is already 70 damage on it. And as we see, Alex did have the Stadium, so that would have been bad for Ryan Sabelhaus. This now forces Alex to find the Floatstone.
Yeah, he's basically going to leave that Regirock up there for a little while, see if he can basically spread a lot of damage. He will knock it out if he hits it again, but then it's 2 prizes, so it's really not that big a deal. And if you look at the Buzzwole on the bench, it's not looking so healthy.
There it is. There is a Floatstone there on that Regirock. Ends up just spreading the damage, but I think that is damage Ryan is very happy to have in play. But Revelation Dance will take the KO. What is Ryan Sabelhaus going to send up here?
Yeah, both these players on the 4 prizes. In pretty good condition to try and do this. There is a Lycanroc with 2 energy already, not too far away to getting the attacks you need, having a full plethora of attacks available, of course. Dangerous Rogue is an option, if that's what he's looking for. But probably a bit overkill on this Oricorio.
And it's something he needs to be wary of with that Sudowoodo on Alex's bench already with 2 energies on it. He doesn't want to play into having a Watch and Learn come out. So we'll see what he's going to opt to do. We see an Elixir start with the energy on to that Mew. Gonna look like he's gonna Brooklet Hill, eyeing up another Buzzwole GX.
Yep, he can maybe... he's obviously used his Elixir, not his manual attachment for the turn.
Yep.
Could start powering up a Buzzwole.
Haven't seen that counter come in yet. We know he hasn't attached.
Yeah, the counter's still behind his discard pile. So he's going to play Abyssal Hand.
Ooh, 2 Elixirs. 2 cards off of Abyssal Hand, both of them being Max Elixir.
That's juicy. This could really fill up his bench nice and promptly now.
This
looks like he's holding on for a second. Just... mulling over his turn, see if there's maybe a way to alter the counts in the deck.
You know, there's a chance he may be wary of playing both of these Elixirs. You know, putting too many of them on this Buzzwole GX could be risky if Alex is able to pop off and get a big knockout on the Buzzwole GX. He'll certainly probably want to put at least 1 on that Buzzwole, but we'll see where he decides to put it. Will be one on the Buzzwole. I'm not sure that he'll actually end up playing the second one. He may save it and try to conserve it for another Pokemon in the future.
Yeah, it may be something he needs to power up a little bit later on. So the Elixir on the Buzzwole. He's still not made his manual attachment for the turn, so probably got one of those available to him as well.
Looks like he is going to go ahead and play it, actually. See if he
Why
can
not?
find an energy. Yeah, and I think either way is fine, but I could definitely have understood the mentality of holding that Max Elixir as well.
But I mean, he's managed to hit 3 Max Elixirs in a turn. Really not struggling there to find what he needs. Grabs the Octillery, giving up the Sycamore and the Energy. And now he's got the second one. After he shuffles up, he's got no cards in hand. He's going to just straight up draw 5.
We're used to seeing 2 Octilleries in play in these games, but usually one on each side. Ryan has 2 in play, has taken Alex's out. No Octilleries on his side, no extra draws. And we've heard from Ryan after his win in Swiss yesterday in his winner's interview. He said his approach to this matchup is to take that Octillery down. He knows how important that drawing of cards is, and he wants to limit his opponent's options as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's really got the monopoly on the Octilleries right now. Looks like Mew will be heading into the active based on the free retreat from the Float Stone. Placed back down.
Yeah, may just want to go for a Jet Punch here. He could Dangerous Rogue take the KO like we've talked about, but that would just play directly into Sudowoodo. Jet Punching with Buzzwole isn't great because you just let it get 120 damage placed on it with Revelation Dance. So let's see where this 30 damage is actually going to go. Targeting down Regirock EX.
Yeah, this Regirock taking a whole lot of damage, up to 140 now. Not looking too peachy if it gets caught by anything else, really.
Yep, it will actually now be able, after that math, to be knocked out by a Jet Punch from a Buzzwole if Regirock EX is in play. 40 HP remaining on it. But we'll see what Alex's turn looks like. If he can find a Guzma here and get that 120 damage attack with Oricorio onto Buzzwole GX that has 2 energies on it, that's going to be a really solid spot for Alex Schemanske.
Yeah, I really like that Alex has played the Sudowoodo down. Really changes how Ryan plays the game because he knows it's ready. Dangerous Rogue, just not something you want to be firing off. You know, Alex not knuckle impacting himself. He adds a choice band to make that Sudowoodo even more threatening. The big thing here is, you know, do you use your GX attack? Do you really, really need the knockout? Or can you find another way around it?
Yeah, I think if you're Ryan, you're not going to use that Dangerous Rogue until you have found a way to knock Sudowoodo out. Definitely want to be mindful of that threat over there on Alex's side. And, you know, usually you want to keep Sudowoodo in the deck until you can bust it out and make it a big surprise attacker with Attach plus Elixir and then bust it out of nowhere.
Or you can, I've seen some people pull out the counter energy.
Absolutely,
it's a lovely card when you're struggling. I usually play counter energy myself, and usually I get to activate it a lot in the game.
Yeah, counter energy is definitely a very interesting card for sure, and very useful with Sudowoodo. We've seen in a lot of Zoroark decks. We'll see here over on Ryan's turn. What does he want to do? Gonna have a choice band. He could maybe try to get off a Knuckle Impact. He would get, Alex would be able to respond with a Sudowoodo. I think Ryan is really on the back foot here in this game.
Yeah, he's just so scared of the Sudowoodo. I mean, if he Knuckle Impacts and then Sudowoodo comes up and is attacking GX, or an EX if the Regirock's case, you know, he's going to be swinging for 190, and there's nothing that can take that.
But Ryan, you know, while he may appear to be on the back foot in board position, as far as prizes go, he is technically behind, but he's going to go ahead here by Dangerous Roguing. He'll go ahead and do it. If Alex does bring up Sudowoodo to use that Watch and Learn, Dangerous Rogue knockout Ryan's Lycanroc GX, Ryan has a fully powered Buzzwole, and he only needs 2 more prizes. A Guzma could find him the win on Regirock or Buzzwole on the bench, or even that Tapu Lele.
Yeah, he's also got, you know, if we do see this Lycanroc go down, if he's got another Buzzwole in the deck, you know, he could just power it up that way. There's no real way to stop either of the big threats here. He's got so many outs right now, 2 to 3 on the prizes. Alex, maybe looking for another Rockruff. This is definitely one way. The N without your Octillery is certainly dangerous, though.
Yeah, Alex will only have access to these 3 cards off of the N. Ryan will only get 2, but with 2 Octilleries in play, it's almost like it won't even hurt him, honestly, at this point.
No, he should be fine to come back from that one. He's got the comeback mechanic after that N. Ryan drawing up his 2 very carefully. Taking a little peep at them now.
Looks like we will see a retreat from Oricorio. Sudowoodo does come to the active. We will see that dangerous rogue from the Watch and Learn. Alex goes to just one prize, and this is going to come down to, can Ryan Sabelhaus get the win on this turn? All he needs is a Guzma that will find him the win. Does he have access to them in his deck? I'm unsure how many he has played to this point. Well, he has 2 Abyssal Hands available to him. If he has it in his deck, I think at this point he should be able to find it.
Yeah, he's going to go in and Brooklet, just see what's in there.
I think I did see at least one in there. Kind of hard to tell at this angle. At least one Guzma in the deck, though. Can he draw it? A relatively thin deck, but not super thin.
Not thin enough to guarantee it.
Not quite thin enough. It will come down to a little bit of variance here. Can Ryan find the card he needs? He's going to increase his odds as much as possible, thinning as much as he can. No basic fighting Pokemon. He wanted to get there with the Brooklet Hill. Wants to maybe put down this Rockruff instead, actually. We're going to see over here what he's going to find in Alex's discard pile. Rockruff, will it hit the bench? Will he attach this energy to draw more cards?
Well, he's played it down. It's done for the turn. The manual attachment there onto the Rockruff, marked to the counter, of course.
Of course.
Then we're going to have Abyssal Hand number 1.
4 cards. There's the Guzma. He got the game right there. That is what Ryan Sabelhaus needs. Knuckle Impact will take the win here for Ryan Sabelhaus in game number 1 of round 12 here in Toronto.
Yeah, Ryan really getting what he needed at the end of the game and being able to secure the win there. So really well played. Very, very close. Very, very quick as well. Both players really back and forthing each other there. Once we hit that mid-game, both benches were set up. Alex setting up the Sudowoodo, Ryan just setting up a big Buzzwole though.
Absolutely. Alex did stumble there at the start of the game, had a couple of turns where he didn't really draw too much, just a couple of cards with Abyssal Hand here and there. Wasn't able to find the stadium early enough to have effective use of Revelation Dance from Oricorio. It did end up taking a couple prizes for him, so it definitely worth playing in this deck, definitely showing its value in this mirror matchup, but just unfortunately wasn't able to be enough for Alex to get the win here.
No, not what he needed in this one. I think bringing it in a little bit later as kind of a surprise, or just to catch him out, would have been there. But the fact that Ryan saw it turn 1 as soon as the cards were flipped over, made his play a little bit smarter. And I think Alex as well. His play was always a little bit, I don't want to say telegraphed, but his options were out on the table quite literally.
Absolutely.
The Sudowoodo was charged. Oricorio was in play with a stadium available and a choice band attached. Those were no secrets to Ryan. It wasn't like Alex would have to fish and look for them. He just had them ready to go. Yeah,
the options were definitely out on the table for Alex, and there's pros and cons to both of these things. Sometimes it's great to get that surprise element to bust it out of nowhere whenever your opponent's not expecting it, but at the same time, if you put these cards in play early on, you can really force your opponent to play their game differently, and so it's kind of a double-edged sword in ways. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. Sure, whenever you can bust it out of nowhere, it's great, but sometimes when you need to bust it out of nowhere, it's kind of hard to pull that combo off.
Yeah, particularly the Sudowoodo one. Without a counter energy, Sudowoodo needs an attach and an elixir for that turn 1 watch and learn turnaround. Interesting starts from Alex here. Does end up with the Regirock and the Oricorio. I think neither of those are the big attackers you really want to get going with.
Yep, he does get the choice band and the energy, though, so if he can find a stadium, he can hit Ryan's active Buzzwole GX for that 120. Ooh. But it was an issue for him last game. We'll see what Ryan can do here on turn 1 since he is going first. He's got Regirock.
He's got Regirock, and he's got strong energy. If he could grab that Remoraid, he could turn that off immediately. But like you say, he's got to have the Guzma. I see a Sycamore. I'm not sure what's behind it.
Ooh, he does have the Guzma.
It's there.
Let's see if that's what he goes for.
He's going to do it before he benches anything. The correct order from Ryan. Gets a Rockruff down, Mew, Regirock, strong energy. He's got a Sycamore for next turn as well.
You see Alex's hand right there, like, are you kidding me? How do you have all of that in your opening hand? Oh my goodness. Does whiff the elixir, though. That is unfortunate for Ryan Sabelhaus.
At this point, I think whiffing the elixir is fine. I think you've probably got enough.
Of course. 30 damage going to go on to that benched Oricorio, 60 knocking out the Remoraid in the active, and we know that is Ryan Sabelhaus' strategy here in this mirror match.
Oh, he's powering up the Regirock for you, Chip.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I wanted to see Regirock early in game 1. This is not the matchup I wanted to see it in. It looks like Alex Schemanske does not have much to work with. And he doesn't even hit the elixir in order to power up the Regirock.
No, there's still so many cards in his deck. I mean, the chances without any kind of thinning, definitely a little bit harder. He is going to be able No, he's not. In no stadium by the looks of things.
He could use Supernatural Dance. He can announce it at least, but there are no Pokemon in Ryan Sabelhaus's discard pile. There will be no damage counters placed on anywhere on his side of the field. It's over to Ryan's turn. You got to feel for Alex Schemanske at this point in the game.
Yep, there's his attach. He is just going to Sycamore. Another one of those energies away. If you can get the Float Stone here, it's going to get real nasty real quick. It doesn't look like he's got it. He does get a Brooklet, but he's not going to want that himself. Gets his own Remoraid. No immediate way out of this one, though. Looks like Regirock may be there for another turn, and Alex may just have to chill out for a second.
Yeah, looks like this strategy will pay off for Alex Schemanske, playing to his outs, bringing this Regirock up, saying, hey, I know that your deck plays multiple Floatstones. I know there's a good chance you'll be able to move this, but I have such a bad hand. I'm going to just have to play this Guzma and hope that you miss, and maybe give myself a chance to buy turns to get back into this game.
Yep, the Elixir hitting there. Now there's a lot of energy down for Ryan here.
And he top decks up Professor Sycamore. Alex is back in this game out of nowhere, able to get a fresh hand of 7 cards. Oricorio here in the active spot. What else does Alex have? I see some Elixirs, and an Ultra Ball can find him a Buzzwole.
Yeah, that's really big for him here. There's another Ultra Ball in the back as well. Elixir, another Sycamore. So maybe he can start playing around that. He is going to bring the Buzzwole up. No real discussion on that one. Needs the main attacker, the title fight of this deck, to come to the fore.
Still no stadium for Alex, though. Won't be able to do any damage with the Oricorio Revelation Dance. We'll see what he's going to do. Looks like it's back over to Ryan after just another pass from Alex.
Well, we know Ryan does have some draw supporters in the hand. With such a big hand, if you've got the Sycamore, you may not want to do it. He does finally play the Brooklet Hill, so he must feel confident that he's going to be able to get rid of this Oricorio. Or he's just so keen to fill up his bench, he'll take the hit if he has to.
Yeah, I think at this point he is fine with it either way, whatever happens. He can definitely get the knockout here on Oricorio if he finds a Floatstone and another energy. It feels bad to do Knuckle Impact, to do 160 damage and knock out this little Oricorio that only has 60 HP left, but it might be what he has to do. If it actually...
He's got it with the Regirock and the strong...
Well, no, the fighting resistance would mean he doesn't have it, but if he finds another strong energy, he actually would be able to Jet Punch for the knockout here.
Yeah, he is going to be able to get an Octillery by the looks of things.
Looks like that is what he grabbed. He needs the Floatstone plus strong energy. If he gets that combo with the 2 strong energies on this Buzzwole, Jet Punch would be able to pick up the knockout, and he wouldn't have to use that Knuckle Impact.
Yeah, he's going to get another Buzzwole down as well, so maybe able to start some more. Looks like Sycamore is the last thing in his hand.
Looks like he'll Abyssal Hand first, though. Wants to draw a lot of cards this turn. Does find a basic energy, no strong energy yet. Maybe he'll attach it just in case he does whiff off of the supporter he plays for the turn.
Yeah, he drew the N as well, so not ideal. Like you say, it's overkill. Knuckle Impact probably a little bit much, but
wants to do what he can to guarantee his chances of hitting it. I bet Ryan's going to be a little sad if he draws Floatstone plus strong energy, but I think he's making the safe play here, right?
Right, he's not playing to a big kind of out. Oh, he's got a lot of basic energy, another Buzzwole in the hand. Does not look like he's located
misses the Floatstone.
Floatstone not in there. So many basic energy. I think it was 3 off that Sycamore.
At least.
Another Buzzwole. He's got a Choice Band, which you don't need to be Oricorio. But overall, Alex making that play again, setting up that Sudowoodo. So if he does have to go completely overkill on it, he's going to be punished for that in return. Yeah,
I think on Alex's side, I almost would have liked to have seen him get Remoraid in play. I think he wants to find that card this turn if he can. But we've seen this strategy from him twice in a row now, really valuing setting up Sudowoodo.
Ooh,
a big whiff on Max Elixir.
That's not his first one either. That's the second failed Max Elixir of the game. So setting up that Sudowoodo is going to be a little bit slower for Alex in this one. He does have a Sycamore though, so maybe given another shot at it. Floatstones, Octilleries, Brooklet Hills. There's a strong energy and a basic fighting energy in there. The basic fighting being attached to the Sudowoodo this turn.
He can use Revelation Dance. It will do 60 damage to Regirock EX. Not Psychic Weak like Buzzwole, but it's actually a decent chunk of damage, and that can set up for some numbers later on.
Ooh, maybe that's the Guzma.
We see the Mew, the Baby Mew come to the active spot. Azul now has the mobility to potentially be able to retreat to this Buzzwole GX and get a big Knuckle Impact KO on Alex's only Buzzwole in play.
Yep, I mean, it looks like he's going for it. He's got the the damage enough from the Choice Band. 120 and the Jet Punch onto the Oricorio.
And this is a much smarter, much more conservative play from Ryan than going for the Knuckle Impact. If he Knuckle Impacts and Alex just has one single energy, he'll be able to watch and learn, knock out his Buzzwole in response, and leave Ryan with no energies in play. This was a much safer play, and he's setting up to make a 3-prize run on the next turn.
Yeah, he just needs to land another big Jet Punch, really. Of course, the Buzzwole is going to be able to do a lot with the Regirock and the Strong Energy combo, and that Oricorio, only 30 HP remaining. As long as it's on the bench, you're going to be able to take a prize from it. I think Jet Punching in the face of the Sudowoodo is so much safer.
Absolutely.
So there's the spread. He does get the knockout on the Mew himself.
Yep, but Mew has done its job at this point, hitting that damage it needed to. 120 on the active and 60 onto the bench. Now, any Buzzwole will be able to knock out that Oricorio. Ryan will need a little help to get the numbers he needs in order to knock out this active Buzzwole. It's got 120 on it, so it does have 70 HP remaining, so he will need something like, well, even Strong plus Choice Band would not be enough on the regular Regirock, so he sends up this Rockruff instead.
Yeah, the Rockruff...
excuse me, on the Buzzwole with no energies, my bad.
Yeah, the Rockruff coming up may be able to finally evolve that into a Lycanroc if he wants to change his targeting around, still leaving the Oricorio on the bench, but, you know, it'd be in a decent position, this little Rockruff. Just trying to buy him a little bit of time here. We do see another kind of attachment to the Buzzwoles. Looks like Ryan's just going to try and run through the end of this game with Buzzwoles all over the show.
Buzzwole being big this weekend, definitely big in this specific matchup as well, as Ryan wants to put all three of them in play, it seems. He's going to retreat his Rockruff, won't quite get the knockout on this Buzzwole, but will be able to knock out.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does
with
get the
Choice
knockout
Band.
with the Choice Band. Oh, 60 damage plus the 70 Regirock. That is enough.
Yep.
My mistake, and there we go. Does get what he needs and takes that 3-prize turn.
Yeah, I mean, now with these Buzzwoles so well charged up, you know, there's a lot of options. Yes, the Rockruff did have to expend its energy to retreat, but there's the option. You could always just try and Bloodthirsty Eyes, grab up that Sudowoodo, and then just leave him with basically a Regirock and a Remoraid. Ryan Sabelhaus playing an absolute breakneck speed. I think at this point he kind of should look to be just taking prizes over and over and over again. All Alex has been able to knock out so far is that very small Fates Collide Mew.
Yep, and Alex is going to need to draw extremely well to be able to come back into this game. I honestly think he needs to get off a Guzma plus double Elixir turn if he wants to play this game, if he wants to have a shot to win this game, I mean.
Yeah, he does draw 2 Brooklets, not a problem at this point. Easy decision to make for the Ultra Ball. If I'm not very much mistaken, it looks like he had a Guzma and a Cynthia in hand. So
he does have options.
A tough call. He's already Abyssal-handed, though, so if you Guzma, you're left with just the Cynthia for next turn, and obviously you won't be able to make any of those plays revolving around something like the Elixirs.
Ryan Sabelhaus with just 2 prizes remaining, that fully powered Buzzwole GX on the bench. It's going to be very difficult for Alex to do much here in this game. Not sure what his out is going to be. He's going to try to find it. Guzma will come up, brings up the Regirock EX. Ryan has had a hard time moving this so far in this game, and looks like Ryan Sabelhaus does have the Guzma. He gets what he needs. Knuckle Impact will take the knockout there on that Regirock that was damaged on Alex's bench, and there we go. Ryan Sabelhaus winning a quick 2-0. He won the matchup in Charlotte when they played in the finals, and he wins the matchup here in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, he's been able to win both times against Alex piloting this deck. So Ryan, very, very clearly the winner when it comes to playing the mirror. He's just got such a good knowledge of it.
Absolutely.